Different episode.
Anyways, moving
back on topic from the
Wow. It took all of 2 minutes.
Yes. It's
Keep it on
called
topic.
That's what I like.
It's
That's what I like.
Off Topics
that's
on
right.
Topic.
Exactly. It's on topic for being off topic because we on topic about an episode, but we're off topic all the time. Back to it.
まだ誰も知らないフィクションを込めて名もない物語を開け
No,
This is Leaf Off Topics on Topics.
There you go.
Today we'll be discussing that time I got reincarnated as a slime.
Oh yeah.
We're on the most recent episode of
Great anime.
In progress anime. Can't give it a full grade because we don't know how it ends because most animes end relatively badly.
That's very true because they're trying to push for that extra
They're just
bit.
trying to,
Yeah, so far we're on episode 7, and if you haven't watched it already, please sponsor us, Crunchyroll. No, but for serious, yeah, we're just gonna talk about the anime. Let's go with this random question that I have about for this first scene because this is supposed to be for a different anime, but it's not. What was your favorite scene thus far in the anime?
Actually picking a scene.
Yeah, just think about like one scene that really stuck out in your mind.
The one that sticks out in my mind the most is most definitely when he met the Storm Dragon, and they were talking about becoming friends, and the slime got mad, and he's like, "What are you, some kind of sun deer?"
That's in there, yeah, that's great.
勘違いしないで私糸のことなんか好きでもなんでもないんだから
バカ誰も嫌だと言っておらぬだろうが
そうじゃあどうする
そうだなどうしてもというなら考えてやってもいいんだからね
ツンデレか
Great.
Oh yeah, I absolutely mangled that, didn't I?
That was awesome.
No, yeah.
Tsundere. You said Tsundere. You were very close, but not. You were. It's fine. It's
Can
fine.
you feel the
The message got across. That's the point. In your
Wow.
favorite scene, Alan? What
That would actually probably be the same one, but then to offer a counter, I'll go with. I just love the fact that he gets stabbed by a crazy dude because his fucking Kohai wants to brag about his girlfriend, and he's like, "I was a virgin. I'm gonna be a predator slime."
童貞のまま死ぬなんて生まれ変わったらガンガン攻めよう食いまくって
ユニークスキル捕食者を獲得成功しました
And it opens up everything very well.
Yeah, those were good mentions. The one that just, I guess, because it's just fresh in my mind, and I wouldn't say it's my favorite scene, but I can't think of like a specific favorite scene at this very moment. The one that sticks out in my mind is her just incinerating her friend.
大丈夫大丈夫だよシス敵
Like that was brutal.
It's kind of good to see
like
the
no,
brutality.
it was like so intense how sad and like crushed she was by it.
As this is an anime
intense.
podcast talk show,
Such
to offer an opinion that's going to come up. I don't like Elfin Lead. I'm gonna say it now. That's a good example. This is a good example of good brutality because she didn't choose to do it. It was a fire spirit controlled by a demon lord
that she
who made her
clearly
kill her
had.
friend. And I'm like, that's some legit dark shit where she's all fucked up. The other one was like, Elfin Lead's like, ooh, puppy torture for whatever reason. It makes no sense. It's bullshit.
Super
this
gore.
is like legit.
Yeah.
That was like a legit heartbreaking thing that I was like, I buy that.
It doesn't even make sense with why did Elfin Lade like there was no explanation as to why they were like hyper supersonic invisible hands.
Because they had horns, Noel. Different episode.
Anyways,
Moving on. Who is your favorite character? These are questions for a different anime, by the way. They would expand far larger because it's a more complete anime. This is not a complete anime.
It's all, yeah, we don't like. Do we want to say favorite character other than Rimuru?
Thus far.
Because Rimuru is the main character, and there's not really another main character right now.
Yeah. Okay. Let's go with favorite side character then.
Yeah.
Yeah. Favorite less important character.
I'm trying to remember the name.
Well, give us a description.
Gabuta?
What?
Are you thinking Gabuta?
That's what I was thinking of.
Yeah.
But I don't want him. I was just
but you
thinking
kind of want
about
to
him.
mention him. He's like,
yeah, he's there.
dimension where
Like he was doing that kick in the opening scene. He's got to have some importance.
Yeah, he's gotta come up with it. He summons dire wolves.
I'm not gonna put him as my favorite just yet, but I love the ogre chief.
Yeah,
He's so
another good
old
one.
and feeble, and he's just like,
all he does
like
is
all
just
the time.
flex.
He just keeps getting bigger, dude. Like,
The thing, it's hard with the favorite because Rimuru is a character I'm like voting for and I love, and everyone else I really like as a character, but I don't like necessarily.
let's just talk about the characters then, because it's like I feel like none of them, like besides this most recent girl Shizu,
Yeah.
no one has really gotten much touch on except Rimuru. So like,
So, yeah.
let's just talk about characters.
So
in
the
general.
3 adventurers who are in, I don't care about. I
Really?
don't. I'm not interested.
No interest in them.
Like the
Okay.
guild leader or whatever. I'm like, that guy's interesting. But the 3, I'm like, these guys are like annoying side characters.
You can tell, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then Rigger's really funny, and then I have a bit of a crush on Rigger, like the kid.
the younger.
He's so handsome for a goblin.
He's super handsome
He's just
for a
like
goblin.
Prince Charming Goblin. I'm like,
I hope he gets
and also
strong
the
or
hot
something.
lady goblins
Yeah.
too. You're just like,
Oh yeah, when the first lady goblin
like-
got hot, I was like,
and-
whoa.
And the juxtaposition of this and Goblin Slayer coming out at the same
Yeah,
time
that's
is
so
like,
funny.
oh no!
Yeah, I've been reading a manga about like another isekai. It's called Re-Goblin.
Wait.
And
What the fuck's an isekai?
Yeah.
Isekai means born in another world anime.
Holy
it's the
shit, I
genre.
didn't know that.
It's
That-
the genre of
Interesting.
born into another world.
That genre is huge.
yeah,
now.
it's gigantic. Exactly. That's why everybody's talking about like this is an isekai anime. Anyways.
Isekai.
Isekai. Anyways, so there's this manga that I've been reading called Re-Goblin. I wouldn't necessarily recommend
It
it, though.
sounds
I
like
remember
real life with goblins.
I remember we were talking about how if you were to reborn as something besides a dragon, you said goblin, and I was
Yeah.
like, hey, Martin might like this because this is about goblins. In any case, this dude's a goblin, and he like obviously becomes the most powerful goblin, but girls are like advancing beside him, and they're like female hottie goblins. It's pretty funny. So it's a funny to see that in this as well as something that I've been reading. Sorry, back to
What,
characters.
making
right?
goblins very humane?
Yeah, like giving a more besides Goblin Slayer,
They're not-
giving more
they're
prettiness
not-
to goblins.
They're not subhumans. They're just like homo goblins. Because it'd be like homo.
I get it.
sapien,
I get it.
homo
I get it. But
goblin.
I would call them subhumans.
Goblin.
When you think of them just as goblins, you think of them as lesser.
If
When
you
say
go,
subhuman,
if
I
you go
think that-
to so
That- then-
my friend Riggard here. There's no subhuman about that thing.
exactly.
That thing's a step above us.
You could just say humanoid or like
Humanoid.
anthropomorphic.
No,
Humanoid
goblins
is better.
are-
Humanoid is...
Humanoid, anthropomorphic would be something that wasn't humanized already, and goblins are already an offshoot of humanity. Like, so anthropomorphize is like when you have Nala with human legs and arms.
Yeah, you're turning something that's not human into here.
Yeah,
I get
so
it, yeah.
goblins
Or
are not
already
human,
of
are
that
still
humanoid.
humanoids.
Yeah, okay.
But like, because a robot's technically humanoid too, so it just not technically Homo sapien sapien.
So what about that Mao?
Mao?
Or the
Oh,
evil lord?
evil lord?
His eyeballs are on two different sides of the street.
It's...
Stare.
I wish you would have a little bit different facial expressions other than stern look.
Yeah.
I feel like
No,
stern look is like
He's
his
hot.
signature.
I love that
Thus
he's
far.
We've only seen one episode, right? I like that he's hottie bored better because
Yeah.
as I've gotten older and more cynical and everything, picture yourself with kind of like older cynicism, which that guy probably has, but with also power and intelligence above regular humans. You're gonna be bored AF all the fucking time because like look at these fucking idiots talking. That's how I feel all the time. I'm like,
I can
if
sympathize with this without the power.
Yeah,
and,
I
and influence.
imagine because like I try and level the people all the time. But if I was like super powerful and intelligent, nah, bitch, I'm taking over. Like,
You don't know what the fuck you're talking
yeah,
about.
you're done.
Oh
That's good stuff.
shit. I just a lot of the characters, I feel like they're having a hard time like creating story or depth to it. Like to be able to want to like these other characters. Like for the most
Thus
part,
far,
it's
yeah.
it's Rimuru and
His wolf,
the Sage,
Veldora.
and like even very little of
The sage
wolf.
isn't. You don't have a personality.
dragon.
The sage is just like the person talking.
Sage is
But it
almost
fills-
part of Rimuru. It does.
Yeah.
It's the straight man to Rimuru's joke
Yeah.
kind of thing.
Yeah, but like it kind of sucks having that inside him, where it's not like.
I
a
don't think so.
genuine-
If I was
I
like,
disagree with it, man. It's like.
Really?
See, if I was-
Yeah,
if-
I dislike Sage.
if I was
I
in
love
a,
Sage,
that's
actually.
really interesting opinion.
Yeah.
If I was in a video game, if like.
Yeah, she's
Like,
not.
if you
she's
don't have like
Navi,
a,
basically.
exactly, if I don't have like a pull-up screen, I need something telling me or helping me out. So I think it makes a lot of sense.
I
guess.
really like it. Just
yeah.
as that thing, I like it. It's done well because like because we're talking about it's isekai, and then my other favorite isekai anime would be
Like Sao is technically an isekai, you're in another world.
yeah, but
it's
there's
a video game.
one that's straight up.
So-
It's
yeah. Alright.
the explosion girl's in it, Aqua's in it.
Oh, Konosuba.
Konosuba, and they do it as a departure of it's religious or it's godly. So they go to a whole nother world where there's gods. There's not a lot of rules, but they still kind of have the level up system. It's not completely realized. This is like a full blown kind of how an actual video game would seem to the person in game.
Yeah.
Because you wouldn't view it as a game, you view it from your perspective, but you would still have that little voice. I think it's done like on point. And I do agree that having a
unless you
conversation
could
about
like
other
pull up a
characters-
HUD, like
yeah,
it's a
this
good-
is the most like I didn't expect him to stay in Goblin Village. I thought he was gonna be like, there, you're leveled up, build a house. But now it's like, oh, I'm gonna
No,
be
I'm
queen
gonna-
of Goblin
yeah, I am
Village. It's
taking
like when
over this
Daenerys
entire
stayed in slave land,
I'm
and you're
curious-
like, what the fuck?
I'm super curious as to how he's gonna turn into this female humanoid form now, and like all these other like.
Doesn't he?
people
All he has to do is absorb a human.
That's what I'm thinking. I
He
think
does.
he absorbs the dead lady. I think that's kind of what has to
He
happen.
just absorbed Ifrit and like.
But he didn't
and,
absorb
like,
her.
He didn't absorb her.
So we
yeah.
don't know exactly what happened. Maybe because it burst into flames, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe he busted out of her and she dropped down, but
I think
he can
just,
only
like, ate
materialize
him
himself.
And like.
I think he's
yeah.
separated.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I don't. If he had ate both of them, I think he would have been able to separate them.
Yeah, exactly.
But
Well,
if that
since-
was what happened, I think he would have spat her out. And we didn't see that. All we saw was him eat it for it, and then he sees her off to the side.
Yeah.
I think he like beat control and jumped out of her, kind of thing. And then she's like, bleh.
I always just kind of figured that because of his system of being able to ingest and like get rid of whatever he wanted, he might have just been able to. Like,
I think he just
emit her
separated
as
them. I
waste.
think they wouldn't go.
But the
that
thing is, he's
complex
never
with it.
done that without
taking or completely ingesting someone,
like
dissolving.
he's never even because when he's like
Sage told him how to.
no, I'm
We
sure
don't know
that-
yet,
but we
but-
would have seen it happen, is what I'm saying in my
Okay.
mind.
I
Yeah,
disagree.
yeah,
I
yeah.
feel
Because
like
has
they
he-
left.
Has he ingested anybody yet?
No,
That's
we don't
the
know.
thing.
Yeah,
Did he
like,
heal anybody yet?
He,
or no.
he ingested the body of the wolf, and like he ate the
and the wolf
Dora.
was gone.
Yeah, the wolf.
But
was
so
gone.
that's the thing. He didn't digest Vildora because Vildora
Yeah,
had to
yeah,
ingest the entire
he
spell.
ate the.
I'm not saying it. I think it's completely possible for him to eat somebody and then eject them without them
To
being
not
harmed.
actually
But
hurt
the
them.
thing is, if that's what happened, he wouldn't go, "Oh, there she is." He would go, "Bleh, hi." Like he
Yeah.
didn't eject her, so I don't think he. I think he
I think
ejected.
you're looking a little far into it.
I think
don't-
I'm looking at it accurately.
I don't think you're right.
full
We'll
of
find
it.
out next time
Yeah.
on Rimuru's Fantastic Quest. Anyways, I don't know. Yeah, it's
great.
Yeah, it's a good anime. I
It
enjoy
needs
it.
a little bit more attention to the side characters. That would make the
Yeah,
anime.
I think so too.
1,000
Like
times
a
better.
little more depth as well as like.
I don't think we need depth into a lot of the side characters. I like that they made the wolves. They didn't make them super interesting. The wolf is basically a puppy. Provides
I-
puppy value.
I-
You're like, oh, you dog.
I do think
You're
that
not
they
wrong, yeah.
do need other characters to
I think
progress
so, but
storyline.
not necessarily.
Not the ones currently.
Yeah,
yeah, I agree.
I'm not-
I agree with that.
But
I'm
there's
fine
way
with
to give
them as how they
There's
are.
a way to give them life without having them like just take up part of the story. Like a lot of the times you won't see things in the background happening well. Like I
Oh,
don't
just
think
make them progress in some way, even though we're not there while it's progressing. Kind of thing.
Yeah, like I mean, they showed all of these houses that were burned down apparently, but they never showed them being built or what it looked like in the Goblin
No,
Village.
that was the episode before they did show that.
Kind of showed it, like what
Like
was
an
going
aerial
on. but-
view, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's like
They showed the dwarves doing stuff.
Yeah, architect blueprinting it, pointing
I
and
don't-
not actually talking.
They did also though, just to the Dwarf Kingdom and that big Dwarf King and everything.
Yeah.
They did a really good job of making
I thought-
a presence that you're like, that guy can fuck shit up.
Yeah.
Because he's after Rimuru.
Yeah, I thought that
Yeah,
his
he did.
his
He did.
counselor who was like against the dwarf was the stupidest bad guy. Like he was just bad for the sake of being bad. Like
Yeah.
he was
He
jealous
was-
for the sake
I
of.
mean,
He
I-
never saw past himself. Like a real human would get.
Sorry.
Go on.
I disagree because that's actually, so I'm watching.
Someone caught up so in their own lives that.
Well,
deeply.
I watch. Yes, exactly. So that's a Trump character, if you will, and I watch a lot of RuPaul's Drag Race, and all those people in RuPaul's Drag Race are damaged because of it's hard growing up gay in America,
True.
religious families and everything. So they've suffered abuse or whatever, which that guy kind of has in a sense. And then they're really trying to prove something to a really powerful, respected person, and they'll do whatever they can to get it because they've admired other people who've done the same thing. So and that was the thing why the dwarf guy saw, like, he didn't like the dude, but he wasn't mad at him, and he was like, he really just wants to oppress that guy, and he's just doing the best he fucking can. He's a weasel, but it comes from a good place, and that is very human in my opinion, because people will do weaselly fucking shit, but then it will be for a more altruistic reason, and that's why they reason it in themselves that it's okay, and that's why so many people, because like
That's an interesting perspective to gain.
that's what I really liked about it too. I was like, this is more realistic to me because like bad guys, when it's a bad guy for the sake of a bad guy, it's like I'm evil.
Okay, yeah. Okay, I can see where you're coming from
So
now.
he
Where
had
like,
an-
he really wanted to prove himself to be the person, right hand man to this greater.
Because you saw when
person.
it was against people
Yeah.
who he viewed lower than himself,
Yeah,
he was
yeah.
a cunt. But like, sorry, I'm using a lot of bad language. Just beat me, throwing beep noises.
Beep noises are
I-
funnier than swearing. so,
Yeah, it's funny. Wank.
Wank.
But if you put in when he talked to the king, and the king was like, "I'm disappointed in you," and he broke down.
This is Martin's stream half the time.
Yeah.
Great.
I don't know why you always put the camera right where like this.
I got him, guys.
Just remember, guys, back air. Play Pikachu next. I'll play Pikachu. You wanna see my patented Pikachu that got me this tourney?
Check out.
I just have a big head.
Check out.
And then lean forward, I'm like, yes!
No, I love it, man. It's human. It's very human. Anyway, sorry, what were we talking?
Yeah, get off topic.
I'm quirky and original.
I'm quirky. I wear pink lip gloss.
I have blue hair.
I do like.
None of us have
I do,
titties,
but I'm-
so this is going.
We got it.
nowhere.
We got to dye our
This is
hair.
great. This is great. I do have to dye my hair.
I do have. So yeah, just to
I cut you off somewhere though.
basically just when the king talked down to him, it was like you could see that he was kind of a good person in a sense, and I think that's more of a human condition than just because everyone wants to believe people are evil. That's when murderers murder people, they're like, oh, evil is Satan. It's like, no, abused child, sexual deviant who was punished by society for being different. There's reasons that these things happen, and he was one of those things. And especially, and he's probably a bit racist, to be fair. He wasn't a dwarf.
Yeah,
Not that
yeah.
dwarf all like, you stupid dwarf. No, and he was worker class. No, he's classist, not necessarily racist. And classist is a huge thing, because I've seen, watching, especially in America, there's a lot of fucking rich people who are dumb as shit, who think they're better than dumb poor people. I'm like, nah, you both dumb. Ain't no difference. You just got money.
You just got money. That's funny.
Well, it's like Bush and Trump both have money, even though they're both idiots. It's because they got so much of it that it's like it takes money to make money. If you get $1,000, it's hard to turn $1,000 into more money. If you get $1 million, that is not that difficult to do something to make more money.
bankrupt.
And he still did with a casino. Not to make this about Trump.
Anyways, yeah, moving.
I have a good question just along is
Yeah.
because I didn't know that there was a term isekai. What is your favorite isekai series besides this one, and which one do you prefer? Konosuba is my other favorite one, but so far I can't say this one's better because it's not done yet. but I do prefer this one.
I'd say the best one thus far, in my opinion, is Ashes of Grimgar.
I have not
That
seen
one was really, really well done. Like, it's basically, imagine like people being sent to another world and like their memory wiped of their past life, and they're like genuinely, like, it's so almost real how they have to like genuinely get better to like survive at any state. And there's like a really critical point where they like really realize how real everything is here. Like, yeah, I would say I highly recommend Ashes of Grimgar.
Ashes of Grimgar recommendation.
Yeah.
Duel's recommendation.
Leave off topics on topic recommendation.
Nice. I'm trying to think of one. I don't think I have one specifically. I don't have.
Haven't watched that many Ice Guys.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Normally, like I do enjoy the whole like leveling up aspect and the adventuring aspect and like going to fight monsters, but not a lot of them go along the lines of like being reborn into that situation.
Well, there's
It's like
Sao. So our line is similar.
I have seen that, but
In
I
that
mean,
genre, I would.
Log Horizon is another good one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At the second season, I couldn't get past this one scene.
It
but
was hard, yeah.
it's fine.
Would you
We're
count,
not gonna talk about it. I
would
don't
you
care
count
enough.
ReZero?
Yeah, ReZero's this guy. He got transferred to another world.
Yeah, okay. I don't
Yeah,
like-
ReZero was amazing. Actually, I really liked it.
Oh, no.
That's fair. You can have your opinion.
It's fine.
People. I hear a lot of
Amazing,
people
but-
don't like the ending. I really like the ending. I was like, no, I'm just gonna keep trying.
It just like ReZero was so good for the first 3 episodes, and then it was like a 6 for the rest of the season. And like the whale episode was cool, but even so, it didn't go. And then the romance part really fizzled for me because like one, his relationship with white hair girl was like whatever, and then Rem's all into him, and I'm like, dude, Rem's like the legit package. Fuck you, shit nuts. And please beat me out.
Nah. We'll see.
I had a foul mouth when I talk about anime, apparently.
gets you riled, like deep down inside, just pulls at you.
I just like to be angst about it, right? It's not even, especially when you do something on a show thing, it's way more fun to amp up your angst.
One of my work friends, I asked him when he's gonna sign up for the gym.
Nice. Can we go to the gym for free when you're there?
No,
Okay. Then why did you invite me?
because I could have signed you in one time.
One time, that one workout, that's all you need.
Alright.
I wish workouts worked like that. You do one and it stacks up. Once you've done 60, you're just good.
If only.
That'd be sick. Just a permanent stat. Oh, that'd be
Yeah.
sick. Okay, I think that's it for today.
Yeah, you don't want a closing off question. You don't want to cap this
I
off.
want the next time we're gonna do Hashiraku Mo-sama because Zarango couldn't finish it in time. If anyone watches this, what's your recommendation on the next anime? Not too long, maybe maximum 24 episodes. If not, we're just gonna keep
Throw out if you
figuring
want.
out.
Throw out if you
figuring
want.
out new animes to talk about.
We are eventually going to be doing the longer, more popular, like super long animes that, but like not.
Okay,
fully...
calm down on super long.
No, we're not
Calm
gonna-
down on
We'll
super
also
long.
talk
We're
about
not. We're not gonna.
We'll
We're
also
not
talk
gonna,
about other things like
You told me Naruto, I'm losing it.
As
No,
we
we're
make
not.
this podcast longer, like we'll talk about as well as gaming and maybe other subjects. But for now,
Have
this
you
will be this
watched
quick
Naruto?
piece.
No.
So this is the thing. So with stuff like that, I'm not making anybody watch Naruto. But
Uh-huh.
I've watched all of it. At least Dole's watched all of it, right? Or
Yeah.
most of it. So we can, because we're gonna have topics, because there's some that we just can't watch that much, and one of us will be uninformed and give the opinion of someone who hasn't watched it.
That sounds great.
Yeah. So let us know if you want to see that, and we'll start. That'll probably be a longer episode, or more compartmentalized.
Thank you so much for watching.
Thank you so
And we will
much.
catch you on the next episode of
Yeah,
Topics.
topics.
Topics.